Hi guys, Coach speaking, the author of Forex Broker Killer. Basically, this is the official video of the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version. For as long as I'm still breathing, 1 Minute Strategy will forever rule. So, this is the second video. If you are watching this video, it's the second video. It's a continuation based on the introduction, which I've explained several apps. So in this video, we'll be making sure that we conclude the understanding which I believe that everybody should reach in terms of trading the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version. Now, there's one more app which I need to explain how it works, which is investing.com, as I've already stated on part 1, which was the introduction. And the most important app which we are going to be using in this case, it's stopwatch, floating stopwatch. That's one of the most important apps which you need to install. So I'm just going to open the floating stopwatch. When you first open it, it's going to take you to this category. Now, what's the purpose of this app? What's the main reason behind this app? This app, it's a time tracker. This app guides you on when is the right time to trade, especially the Forex 1 Minute Strategy. Without this app, you won't know the right time to trade. Remember, only the introduction to the strategies and only the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 vision video I will be explaining how the apps work. From going forward to modifications of Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 vision and the correction, I will no longer explain any app. So all the videos are in a relationship. You need to watch the first video till the last in order to apply this correctly. If you get one video, it means the information is missing. So the first video, it's the introduction to the strategies, all the tools which are needed explained. The second video is the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 vision, which is what you are currently watching, followed by the modifications of Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 vision, and the last one will be the correction 2020 vision. So the stopwatch, floating stopwatch on your Play Store, you launch it, just select launch, and then it's gonna come out like this. Keep in mind, time is the most important thing when it comes to trading news, when it comes to trading fundamental. You need to keep track of your time. Now, in this case, you can see the time is 0141. 0141. I'm going to wait for it to be 0142, and then I'm going to click on the stopwatch so that it can start counting on my behalf. What's the theory behind this? The theory behind this is to know when exactly to enter, as to how many seconds are left before the event, how many minutes are left before the event. So I'm waiting for 0142. There you go. That's 0142. You can see wherever I go on my screen, the stopwatch just keeps on counting, and then I can move it as to where I feel comfortable. You understand? So when it reaches 60 seconds, it means it's the next minute. So time will be very, very important. Time will be very, very crucial in this case, on this new version of Forex 1 Minute Strategy. So while it's still counting, I will be opening investing.com app. I will be explaining the purpose of this video, as I only touched only there on the part 1. Now, I want us to wait for 60 seconds on the stopwatch so that you can see that the time will change to 0143. That means that we are on the correct time frame. 56, 57, 58, 59, 43. You see? So Using this stopwatch, you are able to know how many seconds are left before the event. You are able to know how many minutes are left before the event, which is the most important thing, or which is the most important tool which you need at the end of the day. So now I will be explaining the investing.com app. This app, it's what we call our economic calendar. The purpose of this app is to tell us when to trade, is to tell us when to expect news release. Without this app, there is no fundamental. This app is not the only app which covers the economic calendar. However, it's the most reliable. It's the world number one. It's what I recommend. Now, we have what we call a news release. We have what we call events, which is what you're seeing on the screen. This app divides them accordingly. Monday, we've got Tuesday, we've got Wednesday, we've got Thursday, we've got Friday. So we've got the pairs, which will be having the news release, and we've got the times as well, meaning that the app makes it simple for you to even understand, or that okay, on Monday we are trading at 1945, we are trading CAD, which is Canadian dollar, and the name of the event, it's BOC Governor Polos speaks, meaning that it's a speech you can only see with the microphone at the end. Now I will be explaining the purpose of the investing.com app. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday, we've got Australia retail sales. What does it mean? What is this? What is retail sales? Now I'm going to read as it has been described on the description. Retail sales measure the change in total value of inflation adjusted sales at the retail level. It is the foremost indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for the majority overall economic activity. You understand? Now, retail sales, it's a change in the total value of inflation adjusted sales at the retail level. It is the foremost indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for the majority of overall economic activity. Now, automatically, this is an economic indicator. Automatically, this is an economic factor. It's based on the retail sales, or in the retail sales industry. Now, the source of the report comes from Australian Bureau of Statistics, meaning that it has been compiled by the Australian Bureau of Statistics in Australia. Only they know what they've compiled. Do you guys understand? Only they know what they've compiled. So the data, when it's being released, it affects Australian dollar either in a positive way or a negative way. Remember, the market can only go up and down. Stocks can only go up and down. There is no any other direction. So meaning that if it's positive, it means Australian dollar's economy is gonna go up, or it's gonna be bullish. Whereas if it's negative, it means Australian dollar, the economy is gonna go down, it's negative, or it's bearish. You understand? It's either the report is positive or negative. Now, a higher than expected reading should be taken as positive, bullish for the AUD, which is what I explained, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative, meaning that it's bearish for AUD, which is what I explained. Now, in short, per news release, whenever we are having news release, per news release, we always have three things involved. We've got previous, which is data for the previous term. It can be a previous month, it can be a previous week, it can be a previous quarterly. I'm not sure, it all depends on the nature of the event at that moment, but we've got previous, which means that it's something from the past, and we've got a forecast. Forecast, it's what the economists estimate that the final amount should be this one. So meaning that under forecast or prediction, it's where the economists state that the data for Australian retail sales this month, it's gonna come out as 0.2%. They calculate the information based on the past experience, not the future. Whereas Australian Bureau of Statistics, which is the original source of the final actual, they are the ones who calculate based on the current in order to get the future. I hope that makes sense. Now, we've got previous, which is previous data, we've got forecast, and we've got actual as well. So only Australian Bureau of Statistics can provide us with the original actual. Now, if the actual comes out greater than the forecast, which has been predicted by the economist, then it means that it's positive, it's a buy. Australian dollar, it's gonna go up. The economy is gonna go up. If you buy Australian dollar, you will definitely make profit. And if it goes below, if the actual goes below 0.2%, which has been forecasted, then it simply means that Australian dollar is going to go down. It's going to be bearish. It's going to lose value. It's going to be negative, in short. If you sell Australian dollar at that moment, you will definitely make profit. But you need to understand one thing about fundamentals. Not all news releases are fruitful. And even if it's a buy like this, you can see it's green in color, meaning that the actual is greater than the forecast. Even if it's a buy like this, it depends on the changes between the actual and the forecast. If the actual has greater changes, if the difference between the forecast and the actual, there's a huge difference. If there's a huge difference, then it definitely guarantees that movement. However, if there's less changes, it does not guarantee movement. So that's the economic calendar and how it works. So this is a past event which already passed. So basically, I'm going to be looking at an event like this, interest rate. Now you need to know something about interest rates. Interest rates, they are a bit different from normal event. The retail sales, it's a normal event. Interest rates are a bit different. The previous, the forecast, the actual can always remain the same. However, it doesn't guarantee that the market won't move at all. The market can still move even under those circumstances whereby there are no changes at all. I want you guys to understand why you're trading fundamental. I want you guys to understand why some events move. I want you guys to understand why some events doesn't move at all. You need to understand the theory. Now, interest rates, the movements are not based on the previous, the forecast, or even the actual in most cases. However, they do count. Don't get me wrong, they do count. It's a random movement. Sometimes it can go up extremely hard. Sometimes it can go down extremely hard. So it all depends on the currency's mood at the time of the release. Remember, when there's an interest rate, there are governors and board of directors there present. The factors which they discuss at that moment are the ones which affect the economy at that moment. Remember, fundamental is related to politics. Fundamental and politics, same WhatsApp group. Now, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, the governor decides where to set the rate after consulting senior bank staff and external advisors. Traders watch interest rate changes closely as short-term interest rates are primary factor in currency valuation. Do you understand? A higher than expected rate is positive or bullish for NZD. While a lower than expected rate is negative or bearish for the NZD. Now they've explained to us in short. Positive or bullish, a higher expectation when the actual goes up than the forecast, or when it goes up greater than the forecast, we should expect a bullish movement. However, with interest rate, it's not always the case with my experience. And a lower expected reading as well from the forecast, represents negative, meaning that the currency is going to go down. However, with interest rate, it's not always the case. It can be random based on my experience. Even if there are no changes at all, the market can still move as if there were changes. So that's how it works. Now, I'm gonna make an example again with the Canadian dollar event on Friday. Now, the name of the event is employment change. Employment change measures the change in the total number of employed people. Job creation is an important indicator of consumer spending. So this event mainly focuses on in the labor industry when it comes to employment, whether there were changes, whether there were more jobs created at this month, or whether there were less jobs created at this month. So this is an important economic data which can definitely affect the affected pair at that very same moment. Now, Canadian employment change. Let's take a look at the data. The previous has been 55.9K, which is 55,900,000. K simply means 1,000. Whereas the forecast has been predicted by the rightful economists. It has been predicted to be negative 10,000, whereas the actual came out to be a negative 7,200. Now, in this case, it gets a little bit tricky with the minus symbol. However, to make your job very, very easy, or to make everyone's job very, very easy, mine included, you should know this. Whenever the color is green, it means it's a buy. Whenever the color is red, it means it's a sell. Do you guys understand? Now, in this case, it came out as green. I believe that it came out as green because we are on a negative sign. Therefore, 7.2 it's below the 10,000. That's why it's green, because we are on a negative sign. Whereas if it was greater than the 10,000, it would have been red instead, because we are speaking of a different factor, which is employment change. It's not normal like any other event. However, the behavior, it's mostly common. But how the ratio or the data is being calculated is totally different. So that's how it is with fundamental. So from this point onwards, we are going to focus on events which definitely move the market, meaning that SFBK will be switching from a ratio of trading 24 events a month to a ratio of trading at least 6 to 8 events a month. Why? Because we want you to make money every time you open that MT4 app. We want you to make money. As your mentor, I want you to make money. I want you to be financially free. That's why I'm doing this. Now, I've explained how the investing.com app works fully, thoroughly. From this point onwards, the signals in the groups will just to specify the event which you will be trading throughout the week and the points which you need to use throughout that event. So now we are going straight to the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version. Now, before we get started with the 2020 version, let's first remind ourselves of the tools which are needed. You need MetaTrader 4, which is the app which I opened right now. You need investing.com app, which is the app which deals with data. And then you need the stopwatch, which is counting at this very same moment. And one more app which you need the Forex calculator. You need the Forex calculator. However, it's written as Forex calculators. So these are the rightful apps which you need to get started with the new version of Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020. Now, let's talk about broker requirements. Remember, on the part 1, I've stated how to actually find a broker. I've stated on how to actually find a broker. I'm going to give you the requirements for the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version so that you can be able to know how to actually get started when you're looking for a Forex broker. Now, I'm going to start by labeling all the tools which you need. Tools or the apps which you need. Let me remove the stopwatch so that I can fully focus on this. I'm going to label all the apps which you need, MetaTrader 4 or 5, depending on which one you prefer. However, I'm still on MetaTrader 4. The second app is investing.com. The third app is stopwatch, also known as floating stopwatch. Where else? The fourth app which you need is Forex calculators. Or you can say Forex calculator. There are quite a lot of them. You don't necessarily have to use the one which I'm using. You just have to use the one which gives you the right answers. So those are the apps which we need. Now, other than the apps, we have the broker's requirements. We've got requirements for using the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version. Now, the broker requirements are as follows. The leverage. When you're looking for a broker for this strategy, the leverage needs to be 1:200 or more. Meaning that when you're looking for a broker, you should look for a broker which is on a leverage of 1:200 or more, which the second step, we are looking for the execution type. Execution type, remember we've got only two of them. We've got instant execution and we've got market execution. We've got market execution. The difference between the two is that instant takes time to load, whereas market execution gets in the market immediately. So for the 1 minute strategy, you strictly need a market execution type of a broker. You need to Google about it. The information is there. The information is free on the internet. Now, account type. Account type, you can definitely choose any account type. Any account type. We've got ECN. We've got ECN account type. We've got standard lot account type. We've got micro. We've got mini. They're quite a lot of them. So many of them. Any account type which you feel comfortable with. So these are the only 3 requirements which you need to execute the Forex 1 minute strategy in terms of the broker. Now you need to understand something. The Forex 1 minute strategy 2020 version works as follows. You've got about 70% chance of winning. You've got about 30% chance of losing. So meaning that you've got 7 out of 10 chances of making it. Chances of making it. Now, you need to understand the risks involved throughout trading. Now, I hope the information is clear in terms of how you should get to choose your broker specifically for the Forex 1 minute strategy 2020 version. Now, we are going to get straight to the strategy now. Now, let's take, for example, let's focus on the future because we are looking forward to the future, obviously. Let's focus on the future. Let's say, for instance, we are looking at the future. We are going to be trading this event on Friday. Let's just say we are going to be trading this event on Friday. So I'm going to set orders strictly based on how I'm supposed to trade this event, given the fact that I'm going to pretend that like it's Friday already. So in this case, I'm going to do everything silently, and then after I will explain step by step. I'm going to do everything silently. Now, I've been doing everything silently. I've been doing everything silently. This is the new version of Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 Vision. It's extremely dangerous. It is extremely dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. I want you guys to understand the risks involved throughout the new version of the 1 minute strategy. It's either you make it or you break it. If you make it, congratulations. And if you break it, there's always a room for improvement. However, keep in mind, the strategy is very, very sensitive. You are definitely going to make mistakes. So as your mentor, I will be explaining how to set your orders and at what time exactly. But before I do that, allow me to pass one requirement. One of the greatest requirements of the strategy is that you must be able to set your order within 20 to 25 seconds, meaning that you need to be extremely fast. So as your mentor, I will be setting an order within 20 to 25 seconds. Specifically, I will start with a sell stop order so that you get to understand how it actually works. So I'm waiting for 0208, 8 minutes past 2 a.m. so that I can get started. Just so I could show you it's possible to set an order within 20 to 25 seconds. Now, this is going to be very, very tricky for the new ones. Reason being that you need to have access to a calculator. If you're going to be using the same device to calculate, then we are definitely going to have a serious problem. You need to make sure that you have a calculator aside so that you can be able to set accordingly. Now, I've done this order within 29 seconds, which is not good for the new version. I need to improve. So I'm trying to show you guys each and every step so that you get to improve as well. Remember, practice makes perfect. I've practiced this, I know it in and out. So I'm going to do an order again. This time, I will be having a calculator ready aside. I won't minimize and go to the calculator because that's just gonna delay our time. So I'm going to do the order within 20 to 25 seconds strictly. Ne? I'm gonna start. Now you can see I've done the order, the same order which I've done before in about 22 seconds. But keep in mind, there's always a room for improvement. Always. There's always a room for improvement. You need to practice this thoroughly. You need to practice this thoroughly. It's gonna get hard, people. It's gonna get hard. The brokers are smart. We need to be smart and fast. So I've done it within 22 seconds. So let's see if I can improve. I'm trying to show you that with improvement, there's always a room for improvement. Or with practice, there's always a room for improvement, I mean. So I'm going to try again for the last time. I need to set the order within 20 to 25 seconds. If I'm slow, max 30 seconds, which is not recommended anymore. So I'm going to start again. Sorry, I've made an error. Let me start again. I've made an error. Now, I've done this order within 20 seconds. Do you guys understand how it works? I've done this order within 20 seconds. time is the most important tool, and you are allowed to make mistakes. You are definitely allowed to make mistakes. Now remember, the most difficult part is to have a take profit on your order within 20 seconds. So I've done it within 20 seconds with my take profit on, which is what's recommended for you. However, if you are failing, you have an option to set your order without take profit, which is gonna be as follows. Let's refresh the time again. If you're setting your order without take profit, it's gonna be quite easy, because now you're just gonna do it like this, then you are done. Within a matter of 14 seconds, already you are done with your order. Everything is finalized. However, we recommend take profit. So for now, if you're failing to put the take profit on your order, then you can do it without take profit. However, we recommend take profit. So that's why you need to let that old attitude die poor, so that you can leave a room for learning and understand that you need to understand this thoroughly before you jump in trading on a real account. Now, it's not about how long you've been trading. It's about this is new to your life. You need to practice it fair, and you need to practice it fairly to make sure that it does not backfire at the end of the day. So basically, I will be explaining now what needs to be done. I've been trying to show you guys that it is possible to set an order within 20 seconds, 20 to 25 seconds with take profit on. And I've made an example with the sell stop order. However, the buy stop order, it's going to be very, very difficult. So I'm going to make an example with the GBP event now. GBP event 10:30 on Friday. Now, before, you need to understand this. If there's an event by GBP, just know that the pair is GBP USD. Let me put it on the notepad. Events and pairs, so that you can get to understand, so that you don't have to ask questions like which pair should I use. So I'm going to make it simple for everyone. For GBP events, it's gonna be GBP USD. CAD events, it's gonna be CAD JPY. USD events, it's gonna be USD JPY. NZD events, it's gonna be NZD USD. What did I leave behind? Euro event, it's gonna be Euro USD. These are the common pairs. What am I leaving behind? AUD event, it's gonna be AUD USD. So I'm giving you guys all the common pairs. Let me refer back here to the market so that I can remember if I'm leaving anything. I think I've covered all the common events, which the common pairs which we're going to be dealing with: GBP, CAD, USD, NZD, Euro, AUD. I think I've covered majority of them. Now, I don't expect to be getting questions like which pair do we use. Now, as we are moving on, the example is based on GBP USD. The first thing which you need to do, okay, I actually prefer my colors this way. I actually prefer my colors this way. Bar up needs to be green. However, let me turn off the stopwatch for now because it's disturbing me. Bar up needs to be green, bar down red, bull candlestick green. This is green, yes. Back candlestick red. Let's see. Okay, very well. It's almost done. where the colors, the background, I'm gonna make it black. Let me continue setting it. I'm gonna make it black. Yes, done. But now when it's black, it's changing all the figures. I no longer see all the figures, but I will fix it. Colors. I'm gonna make it white and see what happens. So yeah, there you go. The grid, I'm going to make it black so that I don't get to see the grid blocks. Oh, it's actually gray. Now I prefer my market to be like this. It makes it quite more clearer for me. Now GBP/USD. Remember, this is an automated demo account under MetaTrader 4. Now, whenever you install this app, if you're a beginner, automatically it gives you a demo account. We will go through the processes of you guys getting real accounts in the next video of the modifications of the Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version. Now, GBP/USD, you open GBP/USD, switch your time frame to M30 time frame. That's the first thing which you need to do before the event. However, the most important thing, you must know that you are going to be setting your orders a minute before, which is where the stopwatch comes in. Now you need to keep track of time so that a minute before strictly you are able to set your orders as instructed. A minute before. So you will be using the floating stopwatch in order to know exactly that, in order to know when there's a minute remaining so that you can start setting accordingly, because it's difficult to keep up with the time when you don't know the seconds. So you need to see the seconds. I'm waiting for the time to be 2:20. Yes. Now, as it's counting, I'm quite sure that if the event was at 2:30 a.m., 29 past, I would know that there's a minute remaining, there's 60 seconds remaining. So you will be using the stopwatch. Now, you need to start with a sell stop. Always. Whenever you set your orders on M30 time frame, you must start with your sell stop order. Always. Remember, you must set both buy stop and sell stop. You must start with your sell stop always. And your order, you must be able to set your order within 20 to 25 seconds with the take profit of about 200 points from the entry level. If you're failing, then you can set it without. However, you need to practice it till you can be able to do so. And again, you need to risk at least 30% of your account to encounter events, unfortunate events like gap. Gap, it's when there's a gap on the market. It's when there's a space, an empty space. It's when the market jumps from one price to the next. It's when the market behaves in an abnormal manner. That's a gap. It's when there's space in between the candlesticks. To encounter unforeseen circumstances like slippage. Slippage is when the broker moves your order in a matter that they move your order and place it where you did not place it personally. So that's what we call slippage. It's just an official term which the broker makes use of to make sure that you understand what is it that they've done to you. They make sure that they manipulate you into thinking that you understand what they've done to you, where else in reality you have no idea what actually happened. Your money was gone within split seconds, and they always claim that it's slippage. It's just a term which is being used by them. Now, platform freezing, it happens mostly on events like NFP because brokers know millions of traders are on the market, so they need to capitalize. So you must make sure that you set take profit and you risk 30% of your account at least. It's no longer going to be 100% as it was, because now we are trying to mature from this trading thing, because there's a thin line between trading and gambling. Now, as I've already stated, M30 time frame, you must set your order on the last minute. You must set your order on the last minute. You must set sell stop order first, and the entry points for all events, it's gonna be 125 points. For all events, it's going to be 125 points. Interest rates are going to switch to 175 points. Meeting minutes are going to switch to 140 points. NFP is going to switch to 175 points, where else NFP as well falls under the category of interest rates and speeches, which is 175 points. So, putting it in writing, all events from this point. From this point, I mean it's going to be 125 points with a take profit of about 200 points, depending on the nature of the event. If there are changes, we will always update you guys in the groups. Interest rates, speeches, and NFP. It's gonna be 175 points with a take profit of about 300 points. Now, meeting minutes are going to be 140 points with a take profit of about 250 points. Now, I'm just laying it out there so you could get to understand how I get the points. Remember, the points are based on the experiences. They are based on the data which I have regarding the market. Now, back to the setting of the event. Now, you set a minute when there's a minute remaining before the actual event time, and you're going to make use of the stopwatch in order to keep track of time, in order to know how many seconds are left before the event. So, I'm waiting for the stopwatch to reach 6 minutes, and we are going to pretend as if it's the last minute remaining. So I will be setting an order, taking all the time in the world. I'm not going to be in a hurry setting it very fast, because I won't be able to explain to you guys bit by bit. So let's say there's a minute remaining. You select your new order, you switch to sell stop. After switching to sell stop, you control your lot size. The lower the lot size, the lower the rewards, the lower the risks. The higher the lot size, the higher the rewards, the higher the risks. So that's how it works. Then let's say the lot size is 1.00, which I chose in this case. Now the third step, it's going to be the price. The price, I press the plus symbol to get the current situation which is happening at that moment. Now keep in mind, we are focusing mainly on the numbers after the full stop. And sometimes there's a need for rounding off in case. Don't be confused. Sometimes numbers can confuse you, and then you must round them off. In this case, let's say I need to add 400 from 676. Obviously I have to round it off to 31,000 based on the 30,000, of which I will explain deep as we move forward. So the price, that's the current price which I got. Remember, sell stop we always minus, buy stop we always add regardless. But in this case, you set your orders a minute before and you start with your sell stop order. So it's going to be 30,676 minus 125. It's going to be 30,555. That's the final price for my entry right there. I need to set this within 20 to 25 seconds. Now, I'm going to move to take profit, no stop loss. Why? Because we apply risk management via lot size. If you do not wish to blow your account, please do not deposit funds you're not willing to lose in your trading account, because one way or the other, you are going to lose money at some point. We all lose money. We all lost. Now, the price has been set. Now we are on the take profit. Take profit, you plus the plus symbol to get the current situation. However, you move away from the current situation and you make sure that the first step is to make sure that the take profit figures are the same as the figures of price, meaning that you must change the take profit to the same figures which you calculated on the price. Then that's the first step. Second step, you must, because now this is a normal event which we are making an example with, which the take profit is about 200 points. Now in this case, we are going to say 30,551 plus 200 points. I made an error. It's 30,551 minus 200 points, because this is a sell stop. Sell stop we always minus. There is no adding. Even on the take profit we minus. So it's gonna give us 30,351. Then you place your order just like that, then it's done. Now let's discuss your order. The market is currently on 30,670 based on the bid line, whereas the ask line is on 30,698. I will explain how the bid and ask works. Now my order is placed somewhere around 30,551, whereas my take profit is placed on 30,000. It's placed on 30,351, meaning that if it triggers here, there's a high chance that it's gonna trigger even my take profit. There's a high chance that I'm gonna make profit immediately. Do you guys understand? Now, per currency pair, we have two things involved. We've got bid, we've got ask. The theory explanation of these two, they are there in the PDF. Now, sell stop order you set based on the bid. Buy stop order you set based on the ask. When I'll be making an example, it will be much more clearer. Now, in this case, you can see my order is very, very ready. The sell stop entry line is there. The take profit is ready as well, just in case there's a rejection. Now, immediately when I take 20 seconds to set the first order, I have 40 seconds remaining. I need to take another 20 to 25 seconds setting my sell stop order. I mean my buy stop order, because I've started with sell stop. You are always going to start with a sell stop order regardless of the situation. Now, sell stop order, it's quite easy. Buy stop, it's gonna be difficult. So in this case, we are going to select the buy stop order. Immediately after setting, you move to the buy stop. You don't waste time. Same procedure. Difference is that you add instead of subtracting. So it's going to be 30,660 plus 125, which is gonna give us 30,785. Now, when it's like this, 785, you need to go to the take profit and then make sure that the first step is to make sure that it matches with the price. You can see they are the same. Then from there, that's when you can actually add 200 points from 30,785 to 30,985. Then you place your order. Now, I want you guys to know something. If you set your sell stop order based on how I've done it, that's an error. That's not how things are supposed to be. That's a complete error. Remember, I've done this example, or I did this example on purpose to make sure that you are able to understand the difference between the right thing and the wrong thing. What I've done on the buy stop, it's an error. Why do I say it's an error? Because I've set my buy stop order based on the bid price. The 30,658, it's the bid price. I need to set it based on the ask price. If you get what I mean. Remember what I explained just a moment ago. That buy stop we set based on the ask price. Sell stop we set based on the bid price. So I'm going to fix the error so that you don't repeat errors. I did this on purpose. Now, for the buy stop, it needs to be like this. After you get the price, which is gonna be a bid automatically, you need to look at the red line. The red line, which is 1.30,687, moving up and down. So meaning that you need to switch your price to according to what you see. At this moment, I see 81, according to the red line, which is the ask. Now, that's the current situation of the ask, which I've seen when I'm setting my order. Now, I need to add the 125 on top of this amount, not on top of the bid. I hope it's clear, which is gonna give me a total of 30,785. Then here it's gonna be the same procedure. I need to make sure that it matches. After when it matches, then that's when I can actually add 200 points as my take profit, and then I place. Now, if you take a look, the line or the space from the ask to the entry level and the space from the bid to the entry level, they are similar. It's just that the market is moving right now, so that's why it won't balance officially. They're similar. Why? Because we set our buy stop based on the ask price, not the bid price. I hope that's much more clearer now. So that's how we set for the new version of the Forex 1 minute strategy 2020 version. Now, when the event starts, one of the two orders is going to trigger. We don't know which one. If the buy stop order triggers, it's gonna go up and trigger the buy stop here and then close off with the profit automatically. If the sell stop triggers, it's gonna trigger here and then close off with the take profit, automatically. Sorry, I meant take profit this side because we don't necessarily have stop losses. So when situation is like this, if the buy stop triggers, you delete the sell stop. And then the buy stop, you close off with the profit or loss at that moment. So that's how we set for the Forex 1 minute strategy. Now, last example based on interest rate. Let's take interest rate event as an example. Let's say the interest rate under NZD. Remember what I said about the points regarding the interest rate. Interest rate is 175 points. So let's just assume that now we are trading the interest rate at 4 a.m. in the morning. A minute before, meaning that at 03:59, that's when I need to come and open NZD USD. NZD USD time frame M30 time frame. Just confirming the time frame. After doing so, I don't care where the market is going at that moment. I need to start with a sell stop order. The lot size is always fine in my case. If it's not in yours, you should fix it. First step is to get the price. Now the numbers after the full stop, 65,983 minus 175, it's gonna be 65,808. Then the take profit, first step is to make sure that it balances with the price. Then that's when I can actually put in the take profit. Remember, the take profit for interest rate, speeches, and NFP, it's 300 points. It means that I need to make my take profit 300 points. I must minus 300 points from this, which is going to be 508. Then I place. Now, let's take a look. Let me switch to a bigger time frame so you could get to see the take profit. You can see the take profit line is there at the bottom. It's just that when I'm on M30 time frame, it doesn't show because the market is almost at the bottom. Now, that's how we set. You must do this within 20 to 25 seconds. Then the remaining seconds, you need to go for the buy stop order. First step, the price. Before you set on the price, you need to make sure that it matches with the ask price first, because this is the bid. The ask price is 66016 according to what I see. Then from this number, that's when you should start adding your 175 points, which is gonna take us to 66191. Then from there, the take profit, first step is to make sure that it balances with the final price. Then from there, that's when you can actually add a take profit of about 300 points. Then I place. Now let's take a look. The space from the current bid price to the sell stop order, it's equal to the space from the current ask price to the buy stop order. Meaning that officially there is a balance between the two. You can even see mathematically, so it's balanced. It's very, very much balanced. So that's how we set for the Forex 1 minute strategy 2020 vision. Same procedure. If nothing triggers within a minute, you delete both orders. If something triggers within a minute, please close off if your take profit is not hit as yet. Remember, the purpose of having a take profit is to let your order close automatically with guaranteed profit. However, if you are not able to set take profit due to time, it's still fine. You need to exit as soon as you make profit. Now, just a recap of the 2020 version. You need to use M30 time frame. You need to set your orders 1 minute before. You must always start setting with your sell stop order regardless of what's happening at that moment. Each pending order should be set within 20 to 25 seconds max. You must set your buy stop order based on the ask price, not the bid price. You must set your buy stop your buy stop order based on the ask price, not bid price. I repeat. And then you must set your sell stop order based on the bid price. You must set a take profit of 200 points, which is common for all normal events, which the entry is 125 points. And you must set a take profit of 300 points for all events, which the entry is 175 points. And you must set a take profit of 250 points for all events, which the entry is 140 points. You must risk 30% of your account. If your account is $100, you must use lot size 0.30 because $1 is equivalent to 0.1 lots. $10 is equivalent to 0.10 lots. Therefore, it makes 30% of $100 to be $30, which is equivalent to 0.30 lots. You must exit within 2 minutes from profit mode, or you must exit within the moment you see profit. Keep in mind the disadvantages of 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version will still remain gap, slippage, and platform freezing. Remember the broker requirements: leverage 1:200 or more, execution type, market execution, account type, it can be any. You need to make sure that you calculate your lot size accordingly based on the Forex Calculator app, which we explained on part 1. You need to make sure that you are able to keep track of time using the Forex using the stopwatch, the floating stopwatch app. That's the app which you're going to be using to make track of time, or to be able to track time. And you need to understand the source of the calendar. It's always investing.com, or the source of the events. You need to understand that the 2020 version, you have a chance of about 70% of winning and about 30% chance of losing, which makes it 7 out of 10, provided you are a student who listens. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Forex 1 Minute Strategy 2020 version. It's very, very much complicated if you don't practice it. However, if you get to practice it, you will master it and enjoy it fully. Remember, the next video will be on the modifications of the Forex 1 Minute Strategy and opening a trading account. From your boy coach, Forex Broker Killer, the founder of everything, I thank you guys for your time. All the best.